Oh, okay. I'm live. Okay, good. All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Timber Time. Uh, as most of you may know, I am Timber Wolf, and tonight we're going to be talking about the internet and some of the things that you can do on the internet. Please forgive me, I'm pounding down cigarettes here. Yes, I do smoke. Sorry about that, but it's a habit that I don't like myself, but it's a habit nonetheless. And I'm losing signal already. Huh, isn't that cute? I have to get my hair right. Actually, I'm hoping I can get myself in frame here. That's better. But anyway, welcome to Timber Time. And, okay, where am I at here? Trying to make sure that I'm trying to get into the chat room is what I'm trying to do. So, because I don't know if there's anybody in the chat room. But see if I. But anyway, everybody is on the web. For those of you who are wondering, we are going to be talking about there are things that you can do on the web. I mean, everybody knows the obvious thing. We go to Google Plus to make friends. We go to Facebook and we make friends. This is what a lot of people do mainly nowadays. But there is a lot more than just, you know, Facebook and Google. I mean, yeah, these are great places you can make friends and do stuff off of. But I'd like to tell you about a few other areas. Some areas aren't that great. I mean, yeah, you can probably go out and cruise internet porn, but you know, that's not for little ears and stuff like that there, so try to stay away from that stuff. I do. Besides, I've got so much stuff I gotta do in life as it is. I got 2 jobs, plus I do stuff on the internet. And some of the stuff I do on the internet, if any of you are interested, YouTube is a great place to be. See now. Okay, there we go. I just had to say hello to anybody who is out there and online there. Sorry. Because when people come up online, they want to be acknowledged. You know, this way I can turn around and say, yeah, I've seen you online, welcome to the show. But anyway, if you're interested in doing stuff on the internet besides just, you know, hanging out on Google Plus, Facebook, or wherever else you might go to, Lycan, there are other places you can go to watch stuff like YouTube. I just learned recently that YouTube started to ban a lot of people now, and they're not banning it due to like the copyright content anymore. They're starting to ban people for just being plain ignorant, which is okay in a way, but you gotta have a limitation. I mean, if someone's bullying somebody else, or you know, just being plain mean and stuff like that there, they shouldn't take the person off. who's being, well, they should take the person off who's being mean, hurtful, less respectful, but they shouldn't ban him. They should ban him for a while. This will quit out all the cyberbullying and stuff like that. That I agree with. I also agree with putting a ban on for certain things, such as content, X-rated content, stuff like that. Copyright content's another thing. As long as, because I've had stuff banned. Now, if you're using, we'll take songs for example. If you're using the whole song in one of your videos, by all means, yes, put a ban on it, because that's, you don't have the right to turn around, and use that person's song for something else, because that's taken away from the artist. Now, if you're doing a commentary about the song, that should be allowed, because you're providing your own insight about a song, or the same way with a movie review or something like that. I mean, if you don't like the movie, you don't like the movie. If you like the movie, you like the movie. But be tactful about how you say, like, if you don't like a movie. Don't be too hurtful against the movie. Just sit there and say, well, I don't like it because of this content, this content, this content. Other than that, it would have been a great movie. Then fine. But if you're starting to rant and rave that this was a terrible movie, nobody should go watch it, you're taking away from, these people who made the movie, even though they kind of sucked at it. Let the audience, get their thought on it. Because who knows, something that you don't like, somebody else might like, And so if you're going to be a YouTube creator, which is I think one of the better places for original content, such as like what I'm doing here, doing my show. And this is another thing you can do on the internet. You can have a live stream show. Just make your own live stream show up. Talk about just about anything. You don't have to sit there behind a computer and sit there and watch other people's content and sit there and think, oh, I wish I could do that. Well, you can. I know everybody out there is intelligent enough to turn around and, just go to livestream.com, download their live stream producer stuff. It's free. And if you want to start your own show talking about, let's see now, there's so many things out there you can talk about, like your hometown. You can talk about a local football game, a high school football game you went to if you were in high school, or a college football game if you went to college. I wouldn't suggest going out and filming it and then trying to put it on there, because there might be some copyright content. I'm not really 100% sure on that. You don't have the express written consent, unless you do have the express written consent of the high school or college, then fine, by all means, that would be best. Because YouTube will sit there and say, hey, wait a minute, do they have the rights? Well, we don't care if we're not going to ask them, we're just going to block it for right now and make them show us that, YouTube should turn around and send a letter to the person who uploads it. Sit there and say, do you have the, okay from the high school or college, or I definitely wouldn't do it for professional sports teams, especially if you're taping it off the TV, because then you got the NFL to worry about, and whatever local station, handles it. Even though you are providing commentary for that certain football game, it's not kosher. Anyway, like the live stream here. I mean, sometimes you get a lot of views, sometimes you don't. That all depends on who's following you and what they like. Like myself, for example. I do more than one thing on YouTube. I do animation. I do live stuff like this, plus some of my own comedy. And we'll talk about animation here in a little bit, and I'll show you some of the places you can go to start doing your own animation. That is free to do, and they can be uploaded to YouTube. And so, like I said, the internet. There's a lot more to the internet than just just sitting back and watching other people's work, which is fine. I mean, but if you're somebody who sits there and says, I wish I can do that, or I wish I could do this, it doesn't really take much to do. Now, granted, I should be having a different kind of a mic for this. Up on, oh shoot, I forgot where I was up at. That's what happens when you get old. No, but I have a Patreon account, and sorry for the lost signal. Every time the lost signal pops up, by the way. That's just my computer, if I see, I'm up on Internet Explorer as well. I just click Internet Explorer. I can see my own show right now live, but it's a few seconds behind. And I'm looking in the chat room to see if anybody's in there that wants to ask a question or something. Okay. But anyway, there are lots of places that you can go to do stuff on your own. And if you have a lot, especially if you're like in Google, I know some of you guys go to Google Hangouts. Some of those Hangouts, when you talk amongst yourselves, you can upload to YouTube. But people are starting to get a little weary about YouTube because YouTube is banning a lot of stuff. Frankly, I believe some of it should be banned, but I mean, if you're using it as a partial, we'll take, for example, a lot of them that do the blind commentary for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. This is fine as long as somebody keeps, talking a little bit over the program. This is providing live commentary to a show. This is not like you're sitting there, you're showing it in full detail and not even saying a word, because all you're doing is rebroadcasting the show that was already on TV. So for these people who do the blind commentary, fine, I can see that. But if you're going to just put up the show and sit there and say, well, here's the show and enjoy, and then all of a sudden you get a ban put on you, then that's your own fault. But anywho, and like I was saying about using songs, I did Timber Time a long time back. In fact, I still have two older shows on it, which I plan on taking off of YouTube here in a little while. I used a just about 30 seconds worth of a song, and they put a band on it. Well, they didn't put a band on it. They put a little thing on there where it's starting to get commercial ads to it now. I don't get that money from the commercial ads. It goes to the creator of the song, which is okay, but I only use like about 30 seconds of the song. It's not like I use the whole dang song. That shouldn't be right. In fact, a lot of people I know who are on YouTube for their blind commentaries. Some of them actually use actual songs or part of a song as their introductory song. And they're not even, some of them are getting banned and they don't know why, and that's one of the reasons why, because you're using an original song. That's part of the reason. But I mean, for 30 seconds worth of, I mean, it's not like listening to the whole song. You know, I don't agree with that. But anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. Some of the other places that you could go. You know, if you feel like doing live shows and stuff like that there, and I'm up on my favorites area right now. I'll be doing a show shortly after this, about 10 o'clock. On, it's called Nights with Timberwolf. And that's where, now, it's on tinychat.com. This is another nice area. Now tinychat.com is a wonderful area. If you want to do shows, you know, sort of like the live stream event here, but only you can either go live like you're seeing me now, or you can just switch it to audio, and all you'll see is a little mic there where your face should be, and you can do your own small little live mini broadcast, like a radio broadcast. But what I do is I use a lot of the music videos off of YouTube, and it's got like a little YouTube bar down there where you click on it, and it'll bring up a feed, and all I do is, if you know, even if you don't know the song, say like Life is a Highway, we'll say, by Rascal Flatts. You type in Life is a Highway, and it'll bring up all the songs, you know, from Rascal Flatts, or anybody else who sung the song Life is a Highway. Just click on it, and it'll start to play a video on there, while you and your friends are sitting there talking, you know, and, you know, on the chat room. So that's what I do at Nights at Timberwolf. So that's just one thing, and that is free to do. Sometimes it gets a little hectic there too. Some of the other things you can do, if you're into, let's say, making animation like I am, you can go to animaker.com. That's a place where you can make animation. But the animation on animaker.com isn't, you know, super great for making regular animation. It's more or less sort of a place where you can do business type animation. Say like if you have a business that's into making cartoon advertisements for other local businesses, that's a good place. Let's see now, what else do I got here? That's a good place to go. Don't want that, don't want that. Well, of course we covered Google. Twitter's another interesting area you can go to. I'm not a big Twitter fan, because you can't, it doesn't give you a lot of time, or actually a lot of space, to write everything out that you really want to, you know, write down. Or say like you want to send a message to 4 or 5 people, you punch in those 4 or 5 people's names, and by the time you get to the point where you're going to start writing something, you got about 4 or 5 characters left, you know, and it's like, I can't write my message now unless I turn around and take out this person, this person, this person, this person, and this person, and then, you know, send it to this person here first, and then I have to retype out the whole thing all over again, and then send it to this person. That's what I don't like about Twitter. But other than that, it's a nice area, you know, for short messages. And of course, we covered live stream here, which is, if you want to know where, let's go back to TinyChat. If you want to know how to get to TinyChat, that is http://tinychat.com. So that was TinyChat. If you're interested in making like business uh, animation. Where did I see it? I lost it again. Yeah. Ah, there it is. Just check it. Look out for animaker.com. Of course, everybody knows where Google is. Everybody knows where Twitter is. For live, to do a live stream event, if you found your way up here, you're already at live stream. But it's livestream.com. This is also a free thing to do. Now, if you're not a big YouTube fan, about content-wise, there is another place. It's called Daily Motions, and a lot of the content creators that were on YouTube who were getting content bans are actually going over to Daily Motions. Coffee. Actually, no, not coffee. It's tea. I ran out of coffee. But Daily Motions is pretty decent about what kind of content can be put on. If you put on a little, say like a song, if you put on a couple seconds of the song, they kind of like let that slide, as long as it's not the whole song, I think. A lot of people who are doing the blind commentaries are moving over to Daily Motions. If you want to get a Daily Motion account, just find dailymotions.com. That's another great place to do videos. It's pretty much the same as YouTube, but it's different as far as content-wise, what they ban, what they don't ban. Of course, we talked about YouTube. Some of the other places, you have Movely. That's another online software to create animated videos, mostly for business. Powtoons is another one, but that's mainly for if you want to do animated business. Plotagon, which is where I'm on now, that's a free site that you can start with, but they have stuff there that they sell, different scenes and what have you, but it is still pretty good. And that's not bad. Part for, if you're into Movely, is Movely.com. Powtoons is Powtoons.com. Plotagon is Plotagon.com. Tongue-tied. Anyhow. And there's just hundreds of them out there. If you're interested in doing a radio show like I do, you can go to blogtalkradio.com and do a live radio show for about a half hour, like I do with the Wolf's Den. It's free, also there, to start your own little radio station for a half hour. But you gotta go along with the times that they have. If you're not a full-fledged member, you can't have the primetime slots unless you're paying for the premium. If you're a freebie, you can't do that. So, and you can find that at blogtalkradio.com. And I'm almost out of time already. Holy crack. Time flies when you're having fun. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there that people can do, if they want to be creative. I mean, even if you sit there and say, well, I don't want to create business cartoons, Plotagon is a good place because it's a little bit more 3D-ish. I used to be with Go Animate, but now they've gone to more of a business cartooning. I mean, you still make regular cartoons out of them, but they're more into business cartoons, and you have to pay more. Because I was there when it was free. Then I went to and I paid Go Plus. I think it was like $5 a month to be on there, and then they got rid of Go Plus, and then I sat there. I go, I'm not gonna pay these other $30, $40, just to have this business stuff, because I really wasn't into the business right now. But I'm starting to slowly sit there figuring out, hey, I can do a business animation, and if you're interested in voiceover acting for an animation, creating your own animation is, the first way to get your voice trained, I would say, to do certain parts. I mean, experiment a little. I mean, ever since I started doing animation, people have been sitting there saying, hey, you got a great voiceover actor's voice, and recently I just obtained a voiceover job from a friend of mine who used to be on Go Anime, who still is on Go Anime. He's got the Go Business end of it. And I am going to play the part of a cat. I can't tell you any more than that. And I hope that works out. I don't know how much the pay is going to be. I didn't really ask. I just thought it was, just so great that he came up to me, because I have a Patreon account. For those of you who don't know what a Patreon account is, that's where you ask for money in exchange for like other things to help your business, help you along with what you need done. Like me, I need a brand new mic, so you wouldn't hear all the background noises. Like right now, somebody's upstairs using the wall. You probably just heard that turn on. See, that's why I got my Patreon account for. But anyway, I see we're running very fast out of time. We got about a little less than 2 minutes left in the show. I cannot believe that we've been on 27 minutes and 30 seconds. Time does fly when you're having fun. But anyway, I only do this kind of stuff when I have time off from work. And my next show will probably be Wednesday. Hopefully I'll have I forget, one of my other shows running. My Blog Talk radio show running, because my long distance was shut off and I couldn't call in, so I'm a episode late with that. But anywho, as soon as this is done, this is automatically being downloaded to my machine. I will fix it all up and I will put this on YouTube. So when I sit there and I go, please check out my Patreon account, you'll see at the end of the show my Patreon account where it's at. Just write it down. Go to my Patreon account. If you think I deserve a mic or something like that, just check it out. See if you can donate any type of cash from $1 a month to $5 a month to $10 a month, $15 a month. It goes all the way up to $20 a month. Check and see what you get for each donation, and it'll help me get money for a new mic. I'm trying to get a Blue Yeti, but I got 1 minute left to go, so please go to my Patreon account and help me out. But until then, I can honestly say it's 30 seconds left. It's time for me to fly, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend, and I will see you all probably Wednesday on my next show. So until then, this is Timberwolf saying thank you for watching me on Timber Time. I hope this has been helpful for you. Okay, time for me to fly. I'll catch y'all later. Goodbye.